No. All right.
Hey, you was cooking, boy.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I was about to do some push-ups before you brought me out.
So, yeah. Omega Supreme, aka the numbers guy. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Let's get it. Bienvenue à Rapolitik. We have a very special Rapolitik today. And it's going to be about basketball because we have some big events coming up. I'm my co-host here. You know him as Nate Husser. Everyone's a weirdo. The man been breaking ankle. The man has been doing shows. He's been all over the place on both sides of the border. Make some noise for Nate Husser, everybody. Yo, and we got another mover and shaker. You met her in the audience in the last live, I hear. We got Miss Sade's in the house. She's here. She's enjoying Montreal. She's bringing the peace between the United States and Canada. Miss Sade, make some noise for Miss Sade. And now, starting at Rapolitik at guard, we have the man, the myth, the legend, no other than Bones Collector.
On the dead homies. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. So welcome to Montreal. Welcome to Rapolitik. How you been? You have nice weather. You haven't had to deal with a winter.
I like it. I've been to Montreal. I mean, I've been to Canada a few times, but never Montreal. I like the area. It's like a vibrant city. It reminds me of being in like a kind of like Miami a little bit, out on the outskirts, where you see some cool stuff, nice businesses. So I love it.
Nice. So welcome to the city, man. We definitely enjoy. You definitely marked an era. I mean, the mixtape era was crazy. A lot of what we see in today's NBA looks more like what you guys used to do 15 years back then.
Yeah.
How does it feel seeing that the work that you put in, the brand, the ISO ball and everything is now mainstream? How does that feel, witnessing that?
For me, it's a full circle moment because in 1999, I was, still coming out of high school. And I remember going to a park and people saying, bro, that's, I didn't have a nickname then. Guy on the tape. I was on a VHS tape when I didn't even know it, right?
Dope. Going back to the VHS.
It's called Slam from the Streets. It was a Venice Beach kind of highlight tape. And then moving fast forward, it was early 2000s where I ran into my hero, Allen Iverson.
Okay. AI.
And he literally explained to me why I was going to receive the love I was going to receive because I was a good player. Hearing that from somebody you got on your wall,
that's amazing.
As a poster gives you different kind of confidence. It gave me different kind of confidence. And then fast forward to one of my closest friends, Professor, telling me, man, you know what made me go into Streetball? I seen you playing on the EBC DVD when I was in high school. So you got people who are also icons who acknowledge your skills. And
that's
then
amazing.
When you come into 2026, me being all those years of experience, I can still perform on that level. It's a full circle moment. And the best part about it is teaching it and being able to teach it in a way people can comprehend it. So that's the main thing I focus on.
We're going to get into your story because what we like to do is kind of like to give a background, kind of go back to how things started. But Nate, you're a baller.
Yes,
You're
sir.
a baller. I was surprised at the beginning, like, I kind of discovered you, through Instagram and everything. And I have a lot of friends in Burgundy, and they was telling me, yo, watch out. I was trying to be tapped in, ask them like who got next? And say, yo, Nate Husser. Every time the name will come back, your name will come back. And you've been also playing at a high level. How were you able to do the music and continue stay in shape and play ball? How did you stay connected to the culture like that?
Cause at one point I just realized like I feel like for a lot of ball players, maybe like 90% of them, you know what I'm saying, like when you don't make it to the NBA or don't, you know what I'm saying, like don't even make it to college ball or whatever. A lot of these guys, they think it's just the end for ball, like forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
But it was still a passion for me, and so one day it just hit me like, bro, I'm gonna always need to be in shape, be healthy. I'm gonna have to find some type of physical activity to do for the rest of my life.
True.
So it's gonna be basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
and that changed everything for me. You know, I remember COVID-19. We was all stuck inside the house, and
True.
like I started watching a lot of just ball on YouTube, but like 1v1s and like, you know what I'm saying, court takeovers and shit like that. Like MK was kind of popping off at that time and shit. And I was just like, man, you know what I'm saying, I could hoop with all these dudes, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of like sparked a little fire in me to really like just get consistent and back on my shit and like take ball more seriously as I used to, because I was a hooper before I started rapping for real.
Ah, okay. So you always been around hoop and everything. So for you, it was like kind of going back to something that brought you comfort, because a few people get to have a music career like you have. On top of it, being able to play professional ball, like, would you say today that you kind of realize your childhood dreams today?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
In one way, shape, or form. It always comes kind of like not how you planned it, but it comes. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. No, definitely. And we're gonna go to Sade before, as I say, we'll go back to the story. Sade, so Montreal winter you don't like, but
cold.
How about the summertime? How you enjoying the city in the summer?
I love the summer.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about this place. Summertime.
What is your favorite activity? Let's say a typical morning, you wake up, you say, you have some time in your hand. What would you do?
Eat.
Mm-hmm.
Food. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a foodie.
Food, yeah. Nah,
Are you cooking, or you get somebody cook for you?
Well, both.
Both. Okay.
Nate could cook. I could cook. We cook. And yeah, my favorite spots right now is the restaurant close to my house. I'm not gonna say where.
Okay, no problem. You got to cut the check if you want Sade to be bigging up your restaurant and everything. I'm telling you, you have to send a nice little number out there. But go on.
It's a few Italian spots.
Okay.
I like the Chinese food. Yeah, Chinese food is cool. I still think in order, Caribbean, I'm gonna say
Dope.
New York first, Canada second.
Oh,
London
shots
third.
fired.
London is the worst.
London's the worst for food, for sure.
Caribbean food, yeah.
I mean, I'll just tell you, like the English colonized the whole world, but there's not an English restaurant anywhere.
They using
that should tell you something.
They using basmati rice for the rice and peas.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nah,
in
that ain't right.
It's
That ain't
Indian.
Right. Nah, I feel you.
No,
So,
but y'all got good food.
thank you. We appreciate that, and we hope you continue enjoying the city, and we can have you being around here as much as you can. Definitely, it's fun, especially in this era of tension between Canada and the U.S. and everything like that. It's always good to see and remind that we are two neighborhood and two friendly countries, and everybody's got culture, got family on both sides of the border and stuff. Especially
We
people down
cousins.
here, and cousins and all this kind of stuff. So
No,
it's
U.S. and Canada, we cousins.
Yeah, 100%. That's something I definitely agree upon. Like I went from New York to here a long time ago now, and I definitely always enjoyed Montreal. So, Bone Collector, we're gonna start with you. The first thing is, let's start at the beginning. You're from the West Coast. I was surprised to learn that you're so associated with New York and everything like that. So, where were you born, and what high school you went through?
I was born in Texas. I was born in Tyler, Texas.
Deep in the heart
right,
of Texas.
Yeah, right near where like Beyonce and Jamie Foxx were born.
Okay.
But I came to Los Angeles when I was maybe 4 years old.
All right.
And I grew up in Pasadena, which is like adjacent to Compton and Watts and all those areas.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also, when I left, I think 98, 99, 2000, I lived in New York for 12 years after that in Harlem.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I said it's synonymous
so
with
most people think I'm from New York because of that. So, and then I went to high school in Blair, at Blair High School in Pasadena.
Okay. Did you graduate?
Of course. What?
Okay.
I was a
Congrats.
super scholar.
All
yeah.
right.
My field of expertise is art, character illustration.
Okay.
So when I got a scholarship to go to art school at Pepperdine out of high school.
Yeah.
And I was always on my grades heavy because my father was a musician, and he was always telling me, if you're gonna go into a field, you got to be able to read your own contracts. So I was always focused on that. My grades, all that stuff had to be done.
Amazing.
And in that gang environment, you learn how to be more militant with it, where you can separate you don't want to be known as a goofball in school because, you know, peer pressure was heavy in the 90s.
Yeah, I can imagine, but it's still heavy today.
Well, it's different now because you're not around your peers. You're online, so you're not really around them.
True.
But peer pressure, when somebody's right here, you certain things you can't say to them that you can tweet something, but you can't say it when they're here.
Really
So
good point.
when you get in, you know, those environments are what made me stick to the more intellectual side of all sports. So everything's a sport. Art, everything you do is competition. So everything's a sport. It's
Amazing.
I understood as a kid, in my young age.
We got some bars. Should have been a rapper in another life, or maybe that's.
I got bars too.
Okay. I see.
got
Maybe we
regular
can spit a
bars.
couple after. Like,
Put a beat on, man. I'm gonna get it signed in here.
you got competition,
Bugging.
man. Like if we get these type of ballers start getting in the rap game, like it's gonna get complicated fast.
Now
like.
we might have to hit the stew for real.
That'd be
while
dope,
he's out
man.
here. Yeah.
Hey, maybe
I got
Rapolitik, maybe we'll get a
bars,
collaboration
though.
out of all
Let's go.
this. That'd be amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll download. I'll buy the CD.
Now that's when we got to start talking numbers. So,
Yeah, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah.
So high school, like a lot of people don't know that you didn't really play ball in high school. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was.
How'd that turn out? How'd that work out?
So my dad, when I was about, rest in peace, my dad was always
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he was always a step ahead of the society because he grew up during the times where slavery and Willie Lynch and all those mindsets were affecting communities. He grew up in Texas. So he always he made sure I was aware of two things. You're black and you're not going to be able to say how you feel ever. No, you don't. If you're going through something, you're going to have an outlet for it. Because if you say how you feel, it's always going to rub someone the wrong way in the society we live in, back in the 80s, 90s, of course. Even now, maybe. So he would always tell me, like, I remember 10th grade, I was so good, I was supposed to just be on varsity.
Okay.
He took me off the team. I cried. I went home.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, you're not playing basketball. Mind you, at that time, lunchtime games were like the best thing you can do at the school.
Yeah.
All the seniors.
Showcase.
And during the showcase, I was Allen Iverson. It was bad for everybody. So my dad used to be like, he seen the girls coming around me, all the jocks, and he seen the circles that where I was around. He seen my wardrobe change. Before, I would dribble my basketball to school, put on my play shoes is what we used to call them, and then put my school shoes on when I walk in because I was working on my skills so much. Once I got all them friends, I'm getting rides to school. I got on Dion's. I got on nice clothes. I didn't look like I was working on nothing. I looked like I already was comfortable. So he said, no more basketball.
Shit.
It really rubbed me the wrong way
He took you out of your comfort zone, really.
Till I was about a senior, I never got it. I had despised him. I kind of felt like he was trying to hate on me.
That's
because he was a baller too. I'm like, you just don't want me to make it because you ain't make it. I used to say all kind of stuff to him.
Yeah, and you mentioned in past interviews that the best baller that you ever faced was your father.
Yeah, he was like Jordan with a little more street ball skill.
Okay.
Shooting far. He shot all the Curry shots. He was good. He had every, skill set that you can have, especially the mindset. But then when he took me out, it like hit me like a ton of bricks. I had the best grades in every class I was in. Science, math, art, everything. You're putting all this energy into shit that don't even matter. None of this matters. Your friends ain't gonna be doing nothing 10 years from now. No disrespect to my friends, they might be doing great, but my dad said I'm in LA, gang members and drug dealers.
Yeah, for sure. You got temptations all around.
Yeah, kill all of that. So I dialed in on my basketball skills even higher, and I wasn't even on the team.
Wow.
So I used to go in at lunchtime, and the senior coach used to come outside and be like, man, I want all my students to just watch him play so we can learn how he's dribbling like that. I took it as a sign of respect. But then when I was a senior, my dad said, well, we're going to go to JUCO. So I went to Chaffey College in Rancho Cucamonga. And at the time, Rayford Austin, Skip to My Lou, was playing in L.A. as well. And rest in peace, Ali Mo. They were all playing at a school called Riverside. Yeah. They were playing at Riverside Junior College. And also Jamal. It was a lot of NBA players from the East in L.A. at the time. So I ended up playing on the JUCO team.
Okay.
And that was that fire that was lit from that point on. I was able to Rolodex it in the right way. So I was better than everybody, but I didn't have to be arrogant. I was smarter than everybody. I thought to myself, I was more confident, but I learned how to market that. And I realized what I pitch is confidence. I don't pitch what I tell you is cool, but what I give you is more important. You know, so
that's bars.
So I used to give my teammates, knowing my teammate can't score, I'll give him 5 passes in a row. Try to make that, because my energy was what he needed to score. And I learned how to start distributing my energy in a better manner on that court. And then I turned it into ankle breaking, which I can't really go into.
You're known for that.
Yeah, but you know, I go into that and people think I'm saying that to be arrogant. It's like, I don't understand how I've been playing basketball for all these years, and for the last 3 years, I make like 4 people fall every week.
Shit.
I don't even have a count of how many people I've made fall, but is that normal? For me, it is, right? So I don't want to get into explaining that, because then kids will ask me, how do I make somebody fall? That's not what I'm trying to do as far as being a hooper. I got the name Bone Collector, but I wasn't trying to go after making people fall. I just want to be good at the sport.
We got to talk about that. Bone Collector is one of the greatest nicknames in hoops history. I mean, there's the classics, the Answers, you know, Air Jordan. I mean, we can name many iconic, you know, King James, but Bone Collector, especially with your style of play, people didn't know that wasn't your name originally. When and how did you get the name?
I was in Rucker Park, early 2000s. A good friend of mine, we were on teams, and he saw that I started to make people fall every week, like at the Rucker. Every week somebody falling and hitting something, but they kept not regular falling. They were like bang their wrist on the pole, and the wrist of ambulance coming. Guy pulls his hamstring, can't stand up, ambulance coming.
You heard the ambulance is coming.
Then after a while, the ambulance would just park. Like, well, we know he playing today. Somebody gonna get hurt. That's a joke.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was like mind blowing. And then he called me in the middle of the night, like, or he called me. I think it was I can't remember if he called me on or he two-wayed me or something. Back then they had two-ways. He was like, bro, I got the craziest name for you, Bone Collector.
Wow.
And I was like, at the time there was a movie out called Bone Collector with Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
And I was like, bro, my name can't compete with none of that. Like, I don't think I should call myself that. But who gonna remember my name over a movie with Denzel and Angelina Jolie in it?
Yet here we are.
Yet here we are, right? But that all that to say, every name that I received on the way up to being Bone Collector, because my original nickname was Speedy.
Speedy.
And then when I got to New York, all the New Yorkers were calling me the Little Apple, because I was playing in Chucks, but I had New York handles.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
They say he from Harlem. And then I think the next name after that was Body Bag, because I was
that's nasty
Body
too.
Bag. And that was like small tournaments, and then Rucker.
I see a pattern though in the names though. Bone Collector, Body Bag. Okay, you were getting busy.
Yeah. And there was a lot of different, names at the time, which I'm just blessed to be a part of that, because I grew up in an era where you had, on one park, you'd have Stephon Marbury, Allen Iverson, Jamal Crawford, Lance Stevenson, Skip to My Lou, Ali Mo. And then you'd have NBA guys come, Sean Marion, and guys that were already established, Jermaine O'Neal, and all these guys, Sean. And I saw myself in that era. I was like scared to tell them I was good enough to sit in those tables, those rooms with them. But once I got on that court and felt that fear that I was putting in them, in their spirits on that court, I felt like I was saying arrogant stuff. I was a little too arrogant. I used to get on the mic and say, Allen Iverson, I did it on the show called The Best Damn Sports Show. I got on the mic, I said, Kobe, Iverson, I would love for y'all to play me one-on-one at Rucker Park. I will
you call him out like that?
Yeah, I was like, I would violate you at that park.
Mamba. That's
Mind
crazy.
you, it wasn't something I was supposed to say. I used to got a lot of flack for that. But how I felt, I knew what was going to happen already. If they got out there, I felt like it was going to be bad for them. And that confidence alone is what got me to realize that, something that I heard Michael Jackson say, people pay for who you are. People pay for who you are. So who you are as a person is valuable as you think it is. So who do you feel like you are? Or do you let people shut down your imagination? Or do you let people tell you you're not who you feel like you are or as good as you say you are? Well, let's get the facts behind it, and then you can just live with that. You don't have to prove that point. That's where I got to at the end of my career with basketball. Well, not the end of my career, but my stint at Rucker. I got an MVP in 5 years in a row, and I was like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so the whole time I'm sitting there watching all these NBA players come through, Steve Francis, Baron Davis, and I'm like, every year I get the MVP though. So I'm like, man, I'm better than them. And so I used to just walk around not saying that, just feeling like that. And it got me to where I am today as far as sports, because I still play pro basketball at my age.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. What a blessing. Talk about pro basketball. I got to get back to Nate over here. Nate, how you make that leap from Montreal? I mean, especially in basketball, there's some, we have CJEP here. We have different system than in the U.S. Like how you said that you decided to take it more seriously and everything like that. How do you arrive to the point where you're playing professional ball? If I understand, you were playing in Russia just recently.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually just talking about this with a homie the other day, like, because again, it kind of started this wave, this like I guess like era of basketball in my life, started after COVID or during COVID.
Wow.
And yeah, just really sitting down, watching highlights all day long, just falling back in love with the game, and then I just had a hunger seeing these players, you know what I'm saying, like online, just doing what I do every day, you know what I mean, like, and I have a competitive spirit, so when I see like I love great competition, you know what I'm saying, and I'm always gonna want to play them, especially like guys in my age group, whatever, older,
yeah, you want to test yourself,
perceived better players, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I started just saying like I'm the best rapper hooper alive, and it was just something like I really truly believe. And
that's a bold statement.
Like,
best rapper hooper alive. You know what you heard?
Yeah, like not a hooper that raps, because there's NBA players that rap too. You know what I'm saying?
Many.
But like I'm saying, rappers first, artists first that could play ball. I give it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
So I just kept on saying it. I started like filming myself more, getting more highlights, just posting my stuff, making more and more content, and always just repeating that. And then as I kept repeating that, like people out in the streets just saying it back to me, I'm starting to all of a sudden like I'm getting booked to play in like celebrity games and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the Russia thing kind of happened because they were looking literally for a rapper that played ball, and because
they were looking for that kind of combination.
Yeah. And so because I attached that tag to my name, you know what I'm saying? Like I was the first person that you know what I'm saying? Ricky D, shout out Ricky D. He thought of,
shout out Ricky.
You know what I'm saying? And made the connection happen. And so it was just like a manifesting thing. You know
but still, because basketball is merit, right? It's like the rap game in a way. You know what I mean? Like you can say, I'm the best, so you can get in the studio, you can lay down a track, but people got to want to hear you. In basketball, is the same thing. People, you talk about professional ball here. So they don't just come out to say, okay, you can rap, you might have a nice handle. You still got to make the team. You still got to provide something. How was dealing with kind of that pressure when you got that call? Like, how did you make that transition? Were you confident? Were you?
Yeah, of course. And like, really, I just got instantly like in the gym every day, just preparing. Once I knew it was locked in and we was going, like I just started working on my game, working on my body, like a lot more. Just taking my health even a little more serious because it was a real life opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was just more excited, like because I want to play against highest
highest competition possible.
Highest competition possible. You know what I'm saying? And how I see it is like nobody's like an alien, nobody's an extraterrestrial, bro. So
no,
it's just
everybody can get got.
Everybody's just another man, so it's not
everybody can get got.
You just gotta prepare yourself. Practice makes, you know what I'm saying? Preparation is key.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ah, that's dope. Go back to you, Bones. You mind if I call you Bones? Try to keep it short, no problem. Like, you definitely left your mark. Like, as I said, like I was lucky enough to play college basketball in the U.S. And I know at that time, I remember when you guys came out with the DVDs and everything, it was mind-blowing because the NBA is the NBA. We all watch the NBA. We all grew up watching, Magic, Bird, and all this kind of stuff. But seeing people that were street. Like me, my favorite team was the Michigan Wolverines, the Fat Five. You know what I mean? It was always like, I would tell, we couldn't be friends if you were a Duke guy. It was either you Duke or you Fat Five. You know what I mean? That tell me what kind of cat you are, where you from, and everything like that. Yeah. So how do you take us back to those to that time where you go to New York, you start making a name for yourself? What was that moment like in the culture in basketball, the mixtape era?
Oh man, that was a time what I would say that it was so much going on and so many more important factors into everything that you saw that you were forced to be attentive to how you took care of every part of your life, how you saved your money, how you took care of your appearance, because you remember at Rutgers, your image, all the things that you did, who your circle was. Because I was in New York in early 2000, I didn't leave until maybe 2010. So all that time from the 2000s all the way up, I watched the eras change and grow. Right before the social media era hit, like right before the 2015s and 16s, when Instagram and all those things came out, you had to be, involved. You couldn't be, if you wanted to be a big time basketball player, then you had to play at Rutgers. If you wanted, you have to play there. Even the NBA players in the summertime, they would say, well, it's summer, I'm going to go out and play outside at Rutgers to prove myself, And I never forget that. That's the reason why I wanted to go, because you would see Marbury and Iverson and all these guys there. And then at the time, music was on such a high level.
True.
That's around the time when Pac and all the Pac and Biggie stuff was going on in the East and West.
Rest in peace.
So, yeah, you had a lot of different things to prepare for. And it made you really feel like you were learning lessons that you couldn't forget. Because nowadays, I feel like even with the basketball world that we're living in now, if you ask the little kid who were the last 5 draft picks, I don't think they would know. But when Iverson and Kobe and those guys were playing, we were dialed into all of that. We knew it.
I
never missed a Laker Kobe game, never. Or Jordan or Iverson. I wouldn't miss those games for nothing. But nowadays, kids probably don't watch all the NBA games as much as they used to do, or the finals.
Watch more the playoffs, All-Star game, dunk contest. Even the dunk contest, it's not like before. It was like was a must. You couldn't miss it.
Yeah, so I think that putting different people in those scenarios sometimes is something they need to gain confidence from or gain knowledge from. And I was blessed I gained it from her father, was one of my good friends who was if you don't mind me mentioning his name, Loon, who was on Bad Boy, who used to tell me different things that would get me through scenarios in New York. And mind you, you're dealing with high profile.
Hold on, rewind this. Your father is the rapper Loon? Yo, Rapolitik.
Yeah, so.
Okay, that's dope.
Full circle moment when you think about it, which brings me to why I'm even here. You ask me, what's that feeling, right? That feeling is, her father and me are like this. I haven't seen him in a while, but we were like this. We were always dealing with everything.
That was the homie.
Right. Now I have an opportunity to bring what I've learned all these years as far as being a sports competitor and also being somebody that's very dedicated to his spiritual and mental health. I want to put that energy into her companies and her businesses and help them grow as a way to pay homage to that feeling. So when I go do a basketball camp, I keep them in the 90s. That's how I kind of like pay homage to what you're asking me. Yeah. So every day is that, that opportunity to balance your emotional level. When you wake up in the morning, balance it. So I get up, I make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But if we get on that court, I'm going 90s. And because of that, people are gravitating towards it because it's more authentic than what you can watch online. You can watch me play online all day, but it's not the same as when you see me play in person.
That's dope.
That's
that's the experience. That's one thing I think people are missing nowadays, because you don't go to the movies anymore. You just watch Netflix on the big screen TV. You don't go out with your friends. I remember I had my nieces with their young friends at home. They're sitting next to each other, texting each other. That was crazy. That's wild and out shit. I'm like, I didn't understand how that was even possible. But, like, I understand that we had no choice. I mean? Like, you had to see your friend. You wanted to see your friend. half the time the phone line was
Busy.
taken, like it was like single phone line. I don't want to date myself, but that's the reality
Remember
that we
the
lived
fax
in.
machine? With the
Fax
internet?
machine. The fax machine.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody
yeah.
used the fax machine. I ain't that old, okay?
No,
But
we
I'm
couldn't
playing.
use the internet and the phone at the same time.
Yeah, at the same
Yeah,
time, exactly.
yeah.
You had that annoying noise that I was doing all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I had
when
the
mom
chat
bills were
line.
waiting for a phone call, you had to go, and so that forced you to interact and to see all those things, and seeing that you built such a career of effort and being in real time. How does Bone Collector adapt to the new kind of virtual world? Like how is that transition into this 2026 era?
It's an easy transition because I am the internet.
Okay.
The internet works for me. So
Mm.
I don't, whatever I post is going to be it, regardless of when it comes out. So if I did a documentary 5 years from now or 40 minutes from now, people going to watch it. Why? Because it's me. It's not me, my arrogance. I'm saying it's me, meaning you're not going to see and get these experiences because from someone who ain't been through that stuff. So me being grown up in gang environments and then getting in the corporate world and also being a scholar and also being a mathematician and then going back into my art and character illustration, all these different stages that I built my company around, and then jumping into mental health and then the spiritual side and then the basketball and nutrition. You're not going to get that from everyone, but you're going to get that from me because that is what I mean by I am the internet. So I don't do podcast interviews because
You got bars. You sure you're not a rapper? You working on it.
I'm working on it. Well, I normally don't do podcasts, or I could stream. Me and Professor could stream. I got a bunch of guys I could stream with and do all of that. But the more important thing for me right now is what are you going to give these people that is going to help them and teach them things that helped you. So if I can't do that, I have to cultivate that. That's not, you don't play with what God gives you. You don't get on this mic and start giving information that you don't know yourself. You don't do that. I don't do that. So it's a privilege to be able to speak on,
Yeah, to be
like
able
you
to
said
express
about,
yourself.
and you say, what about the new times? I am these times, VHS to DVDs to Instagram. I've been on all of it.
And that gives you an advantage because you've seen the transition. You've seen the eras, and like when there was just a few limited of people that were on the internet and so on and so forth. They were the physical the physical
cassettes and everything.
cassettes and all these things, and in hip hop at the end, we're a hip hop podcast. In hip hop, we seen this transition, and there's always every time. The medium that music is spread, the information is spread with change, the top dog, the company changes. Back in the days, it was Motown.
Yeah.
Motown was run over the vinyl era.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
remember
And
that.
I remember there was a classic story where Michael Jackson, they had, I don't remember which big Motown artist was offered a CD contract. And Motown say, fuck it, that'll never work. People buy disc. And they say, you can sign it. Nobody has a CD. What the hell is a CD? Now Sony comes in. What does Sony do? They make CDs, the PlayStation and so on and so forth. Who became the biggest label distribution of music back in those days? Sony Records. You know what I mean? Now we move to another era. We'll move to the internet era. And you have Spotify. You know what I mean? So every time the medium changes, the top dog, the wheelers and dealers, the distributors change too. And Nate, I think this question is for you. How do you adapt to this era? Because you also seen the different eras of music distribution. And one thing I enjoyed about you is you're always very busy. You did big festivals. You always, I thought you were American at first, to be honest. When I first heard your music and so on, I thought, I'm like, okay, this is a cat from Cali or something. Like, how do you stay ahead of the curve? Like, how do you kind of predict what's next and get into those circles so early in your career?
I think it's just a matter of being locked in and like in just your own world, your own goals, your own passion, just trying to make yourself better. Once you're just like hyper focused, it don't matter really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what makes what you want gravitate to you is being the version of yourself that attracts that, essentially.
That's
you know
dope.
what I'm saying? Being the person you want to be a millionaire or whatever, you gotta move like somebody who, you know what I'm saying, makes $1 million type shit. So it's really kind of that. I don't really. It's like, of course we try to, you know what I'm saying. You see, you got to play the game a bit like where it's going, where it's at.
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like in anything, but
Make the right move the right time.
yeah, I feel like when things are just like what's great is great, and it'll stand anytime. You know what I'm saying? Like undeniable is undeniable at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's undeniable is undeniable every time. I like that. Rapolitik, we on. Sade, with your background now that I know a bit more about you, you ever done music? Have you ever thought about kind of going into the family tradition and rap or sing? Like what's...
So actually, I was a songwriter.
Okay.
That was like
That's
my
dope.
story. That's what I was doing in the beginning. And like, I was getting frustrated actually. I just really wanted money. Like, I was so money driven since I was a kid, and I wasn't making money writing songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting annoyed. And I don't want to say who, I can't.
I think you don't want to annoy Sade. I have a feeling. You
Yeah.
don't want... Okay, but go on. Sorry. Didn't want to
Pretty
interrupt you.
much. But can't say who, but I did like a few reference tracks for this artist. And she was like, girl, you should just do your own songs. I'm like, why? Like, that's not what I'm here for. Like, that was discouraging. That's not gonna build my confidence. I build my own confidence. Like, no one builds my confidence for me. So
That's dope.
certain people think they're like encouraging me, but I also look at it like there's something else that's blurring the lines here. And what it was her diction. She has a dialect thing. Like
Okay.
and she couldn't really like articulate what I was saying. And I learned like everybody doesn't, you can't just write songs. Like, you have to write songs for people.
For people.
Yeah, I didn't
That's a good point.
understand that. I was mad young. And I was trying to move around my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has...
Was he welcoming you getting involved in music, or was kind of pushing it back, focus on studies? Like, what was his attitude
he was
towards that?
very much pushing back.
Okay.
It came to a point where he was like, I'm going to take the lesser evil and like help you out and guide you. But I really wasn't listening. I'm a knucklehead. So
We all are.
was-
Everyone's a weirdo? Is that what they...
no, for real. Everyone's a weirdo. I was a weirdo before it was cool being weird. Like, now everybody's weird, but you know, he kept telling me like, you don't know how to use people. And this industry is about using people. Your heart is too big. And I ain't like that. I was like, really? You know? And
But you can change that, you know, like nothing is set in stone, you know. I think that's it's great to have
I'm
accomplished
32
people.
years old now. That was like 17, 18-year-old me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having these conversations. And, you know, I seen everything.
Okay.
And I think it, like right now, in this day and age, like I'm like trying to bridge the gap because I feel like the old side of the industry is still very much important.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now it's just very loose. It's very loose. Like, there's no archives. Like he was saying, like, if he did a documentary, like, that's archive footage. Like, you wasn't there. Like, I wasn't there. Like, but
that's
if you
one of
was-
the things that we do in Rapolitik to kind of give the background. Over 300 plus episodes, we've been basically documenting the history of rap in Montreal. From old school guys, new school guys. We have guests every week. We have 2 events where like we have a podcast where we hosting artists. And then that's the main show, the Rapolitik show. And then we have the lives where we kind of talking about everyday topic. We also have Rapolitik la nuit, which more for the youth. It's basically the Rapolitik, but for the younger guys and kind of like who's coming. So we have an entire ecosystem based around current rappers and the industry and past rappers that we're documenting. Current events that we are talking on lives, and Rapolitik la nuit, where we have the youth, what's coming next. And of course, we also have a sports show. And my boy, shout out to my boy TC, T. Claude, who was supposed to do the interview originally, but has a wedding, and a friend of his, we have L'Estoile Aller, which is more sports based. So we're kind of creating this ecosystem in Montreal where we are kind of like defining the culture of hip hop
Shout
with
out
what's
to
going
y'all.
on. So
That's awesome, bro.
it's a real pleasure
'Cause
having
it's
you guys
needed.
around because it's needed. It's important, and at the same time, it's like me. I started as a fan of the show. I was just a fan of the show in the comment section like we have right now. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Everybody's following. Partagez le live, likez le live. You know the drill. We got Bone Collector in the house. Réveillez-vous. Wake it up, people. Wake it up. We got Bone Collector in the house. We got Nate Hustler in the house. We have a big tournament coming up now. We're going to talk about it some more. Wake it up, guys. Make sure that you send off your questions and your comment and donations. So you kind of like that kind of give you the idea of what is Rapolitik and why we here right now. Love it. Bone Collector, Shaquille O'Neal said you have the best ball handle ever. Is he capping?
I'm gonna have to say he ain't capping.
Oh no! Okay, you know what you heard it first, Rapolitik. Okay,
yeah, I got that resume, man. It's a body count for me, you know. On the other side, you know, playing basketball for all these years, I think being able to play on a high level, and then even right now, I will play anybody in this room right now, and it'll be a problem.
Let's go.
And that's what I leave my mark that way, because that is a lot more than anybody could pay me to have that energy to do that. That is something that you can't even pay for.
It's natural. It just
can't pay for it. It's priceless. So it's a good feeling, man, especially with hearing how you wrap up the politics in basketball, in sports, and you mix it up with the way the rap politics are here and the history of it. It brings me to where we are now with Sade and Nate. Our whole entire scenario is this way because I met Nate when he went to Canada.
Tell me about how you guys meet.
Yeah, he was on that pro team that he was on in Canada. I was Russia, excuse me. I was the other guard.
Okay, you guys were the backcourt.
Yeah, he had to play me every day.
Wow.
So from there we won't get into the games, but we built a bond, and Sade was somebody who I just had met, and I was gravitating towards them because in these scenarios you have to click up. It's not a
100%. You're in a foreign country.
You gotta find
we the only black people.
Exactly.
You gotta don't be afraid of your skin is what I call it. Don't be afraid of your skin. So I immediately went over there, and then we both got East Coast energy. That was all off the rip. I was mentoring Nate because they were giving Nate a lot of unnecessary situations as far as how to handle himself on the court. And I was telling him that's not gonna help us, bro. I understand what the coach is doing, but I'm a ringer. He brought me in as a ringer. I'm telling you what I need. I'm gonna be on the court most of the game. This is what I need you to do. You understand? I'm the coach too.
100%.
So not
the
to,
veteran.
Not to belittle the coaches, but it was just something that got us to the point where we are today. And we will, especially with knowing how they mingle in areas that are very important in the manner of sports. Sports is a rhythm thing. Music, sports, it's the same.
Yeah, totally agree.
So as we kind of cultivate what we're building, we will create, with me, Nate, and Sade, we will create sort of a crew league environment for this area. We saw it done in Russia. We can do it here. We can do it here in Montreal. We already have the players. The players have big enough names. We have big enough brands behind it. We can do something that will last forever here. And that's where I say, man,
legacy.
It's way more important to latch on and get that information and do something with it. And I'm very proud of everything that they've accomplished because I couldn't do what I'm doing and put them in a good position to grow if they weren't already on that level. So now that we work together, it's like we like the Jackson 5 now. We getting to it.
Let's go.
Cap.
Yeah, we getting to it. Everything we do is up real high. And blessings from above. I work with Drake and people like that all the time. And when I see how they move and they operate, it reminds me of what that whole work that they're putting in is going to look like. It shows me exactly what it's going to look like.
Well, you just casually said that you work with the biggest artist in the world as a basketball coach, Drake, and shout out and big up to you because as I said, like going back, I lived the mixtape era, and it was kind of like people were looking down, but were saying that this is not serious stuff. This is not serious basketball. Our coaches used to come up and tell us, like, don't be watching all those N1 stuff. We hear this is, we're running plays, running the flex offense and all this kind of boring stuff. And we ended up implementing motion offense because it was affecting. We were just playing like that. We could resonate. And, of course, there were certain things that we couldn't do, certain carries that you can get away with in street ball that you can't do. But we liked the flow. It was natural to us. It was something that growing up, you play organized ball, you leave the court, you go to the playground and you play that style of ball anyways, you know what I mean? So seeing, oh, I could adapt this move or that move to my game and my team and be able to get that scholarship and all this kind of stuff. And you seem to have reached a point of your career basketball wise where you kind of getting into the coaching, you do a lot of mentoring. What does mentoring mean to you, and what are some of the moves that you are doing right now to kind of give back to the youth and the community?
Great. I'm more on the playing side, to be honest.
No, for sure.
But the mentoring that I do is something that is embedded into my brand, because the mental health in California and in America is something that I have to pay very close attention to, because I have 2 sons that are growing up in a society full of social media and school shootings and gang violence.
Shout out to Black fathers.
Yeah, appreciate it. We want to cultivate in my company, my brands. We want to cultivate the therapy that someone may need without the price. So if we have to cover it up in a basketball camp, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure they get the help they need, because you're gonna get it all. Because nutrition, we do everything. It's not like you're just learning how to dribble a basketball. You're learning how to play defense. You're learning how to jump high. You're learning how to keep your physical, your fitness in order. You're learning how to eat healthy. You're learning how to express yourself, talk to people. You're learning how to do all these things, fill out job applications, work on your 401k. What does it look like to get life insurance? We don't talk about just basketball. So
you're building from the grounds up.
And so I didn't want to go into anything without giving people what they would need. So, as my dad would tell me, 2 things people always gonna need, son: food and sleep. I said,
wise words.
Yeah, I said, well, Dad, what do you do in between that? And he said, feed them, and they'll go right to sleep. Feed them, give them all that stuff in a package, from basketball to fitness and all this stuff and mental health. That's gonna be food for the mind. They're gonna sleep that off and wake up different. They're gonna have to, because you're not giving them, oh, you need to grow up and make money. You need to grow up and do this. No, you need to go up and be a responsible adult. Number 1. And number 2, you need to build your confidence, because if you can't buy the latest shoe, then you have to be comfortable in what you got on. So, you don't want to be uncomfortable. And if you are, here's my program to help you become more comfortable.
That's dope. I mean, you mentioned your company and some of your activities. Can we get a bit more? I mean, I know you before we go into that, and we will get back to that. As I said, Drake is the biggest artist in the world. Like, how did that come along? This connection with Drizzy?
Just through sports, man. He had this while back thinking maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He DM'd me or something about me coming out here. He wanted to do some training. I was already working out here, and I came out here. We did it. It was one of the most mind-blowing days ever, because his court was just like the best court I've seen in a long time.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Oh, yeah. So we built a lot of different bonds in that moment, and it's an everlasting bond, because that's why I mentioned their work ethic. A lot of people may not see this, or may not know this, but Drake is working so hard on everything he does, from all his businesses and the things he focuses on. So it gives you a different drive. So it made me realize you have to be separate from your name. You can't just be Bone Collector. You don't want people to wear a shirt that says your name on it all the time, because everybody's not you. So you have to give them something, or give people something that they can be, that's relatable. So it gave me a good business mantra, and that's where I focus on now. I'm more so than trying to make people be like me or speak and talk them to death about how confident I am. I just tell them, hey, we're building confidence today. We don't require us to talk about nothing. We got 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups. We got to go eat this kale. We got to also read this amount of this chapter, with these chapters in this book right here. I want you to give me a summary on it, and then I want you to go read that Bible. You may not even like it. You need to read that. Come back, tell me what you learned. All these things made me realize that I needed this help when I was a kid.
Isn't that happen often? Like, where you set off to help people, but you end up helping yourself also.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to help yourself is to help people, to be open to other people in the community, to be able to give back, and you don't realize it by giving back to others, you end up giving back to yourself. So
Exactly.
that's,
And then
that's a dope point.
and it came back to full circle when you want to show love. How do you show love?
Mm-hmm.
What is the best? What does that look like? We've like manipulated that word to mean whatever we want it to mean at that moment. But I think to really show love is what it looks like when it's over. So you don't know what love is till it's over. You got to wait till it gets to that point. So if we're going to work together, we're going to have to be gray by the time we figure out how much love I'm showing you, how much love I have for them and what they've accomplished. We're going to have to be old and gray talking about it. That's where I look at it as a long-term like perspective. You know, sports is not something you can do forever,
True.
but you can learn every day.
Can learn every day. Yeah, we got definitely bars, man. I feel like no, it's great because as I said, like it's important to have those conversations. You know, nowadays we're in an era of communication. You know, myself, as I said, like I speak 2 languages. Usually we sit in here speaking in French. Today we're able to do it. Why? Because I learned to communicate. I learned those languages. When I arrived in the U.S., it was funny because I learned English watching movies but in with subtitles. And it was funny because I watched John Wayne movies because I was in France and they're like 10 years behind. So a movie come out here, it'll come out like 5, 6, 7 years afterwards, like way back when I was very young. And I was watching those John Wayne movies, and for a long time, I had a John Wayne accent when I spoke English. It was funny as fuck. So when I arrived there, and when I arrived in the U.S., usually they might put you in a class where you can learn English, but they put me in regular school right away. I spoke with the director of the school, and they're like, no, we're just gonna put you in regular grade. You know, your English is good enough to be able to do it, and you also have the ability to learn fast when you're younger. Because you know you're more flexible, you're more open-minded. It's very proven. Like when people come to a different country at a certain age, they learn the language right away. But their parents that spend the same amount of time in that country learn the language takes them a lot longer. Yeah. Sade, are you speaking a little bit of French now? Like
I know like
say less
4 words.
4 words, okay, fair enough. You can ask for directions, like simple direction, like
no.
Où je suis, Sainte-Catherine.
4 words.
All right, no problem, man, no problem. But we're gonna help. We're here to help, and we're here to learn. It's a funny place, like Montreal. Nate, growing up here, obviously you're one of our best English artists. Here we have a term, say, les deux solitudes, which mean the 2 loneliness. This is how we describe the French and the English population. We live in solidarity. We live in the same space, but we live in completely separate worlds. Basically, from downtown all the way to the west, it's English.
Okay.
From downtown all the way east, it's French, and all the way to the border as soon as you leave the island of Montreal. So you can literally live in Montreal and not speak a word of French or English and still be able to communicate, work, and do your own thing. Nate, how is it for you being an English MC in the Quebec market? Has it been a help? Has it been a hindrance? How is it to navigate this reality?
It's both. It's like a gift and a curse at the same time.
Okay.
It's like this is such a long, deep topic, bro. But like,
it's all good. We can go shortly on it. But
yeah.
Dans les grandes lignes, like we would say in French.
For me, yeah, bro. It's kind of like gift and a curse. Like I was saying, we're in a place where, you know, rap is about like for to come up as a rapper in a city, bro. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, number one, like you got to be relatable. That's just in any case,
sure.
Actually relatable. You know what I'm saying, and there's a sense of credibility, you know what I'm saying?
True.
That comes with it. And
like ball, like I was saying, there's a lot of common things.
Yeah, and I feel like the credibility matters a little bit less now, but it's still highly important. And you know, it's just tough coming out of a city like this where, you know, it's not ever been known for any rappers to come out of here historically, you know what I'm saying? Like
true.
To the
But it's always a first
mainstream
one.
market, but there's always a first. But for a long time, you know what I'm saying, without people from like, let's say just down south across the border
Mhm.
or Europe or whatever, always had this back in the day before like the internet or like early internet days. It was still like people think Canadians lived in igloos. To still to this day, people don't know there's like hoods and shit in Canada or whatever. the
I
fuck.
didn't know.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you would come out as a rapper, people be like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this guy rapping? He from
That's
Canada.
it.
Yeah, why
You know
is
what
this
I'm
guy
saying?
from Canada?
Like, but it's like my life ain't much more different from the next hood or a guy in the next hood
Exactly.
or the
There's so
next
many
hood or
things
the
you can
next
relate
hood.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's just not known. It's not kind of like popularized. It just ain't had its time yet. And that's kind of why I do this Born for Burgundy thing
Yeah.
and why I rap. It's like it's just a calling for me to like just, you know what I'm saying, put my hood on the map in a way that's like it's really like a cultural staple in the
expand on
hood.
that.
You know what I mean?
Ballin'
In
for
the city.
Burgundy.
You know what I mean?
First of all, I love the name.
Yeah.
I think Burgundy is
Thank
such an important area. Just Bones, just Burgundy is very historical. I mean, I'm sure you guys have had those conversations. Very historical area for Black,
Told me a
for
little bit
Afro
about
American, for Afro Canadians.
he
It's
told me
been
a
a
little
place
bit.
where we had fantastic jazz players. We have ball players. We have a lot of artists. A lot of it's as close to the essence of Black Montreal experience. It's really a neighborhood that's iconic, and Nate is definitely a great representative of it. So naming your organization like you did, how did the idea come? What do you guys do? Tell me a bit more about.
So it started off basically like it was a block party every summer around the same time.
Okay.
Growing up that I would go to, it'd be in the hood. They'll call it Burgundy Day or Blocko, and it's a Burgundy tradition. You know, we all go to the park. It's barbecue, it's food. I mean, it's music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Street
Block
ball
party.
going on. Yeah, a lot of basketball going on. People chilling, everybody outside. But you know, in them times, late '90s, early 2000s, like things could get hectic and you know what I'm saying? A little bit crazy. And,
True.
and that's what Bergs was kind of known for at the time, and it still has a little bit of that reputation. But things have changed now, especially I feel like everywhere.
Yeah,
a
it got
lot of places.
gentrified a bit.
Yeah,
Like
you
that's
know?
something that we see in every neighborhood.
But, yeah, so because of like a few times it really started ending in violence, and it was like an expected thing. It kind of like died off because obviously nobody wants to die.
Of
right?
course,
So,
of course.
So yeah, after a while, like it just died down for so long. It just felt like it was missing. You know what I'm saying? We was missing it. So I was like, damn, man, we got to bring this back. But like, let's make it about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Dope.
you know what I'm saying? Like, give it some reason to not attract that type of energy, and you know, just have more positive vibes around it, and still be fun, still be dope, still have the whole hood out, but just like you know what I'm saying. With a greater purpose, a greater
Like a
cause and
festival to
shit.
rep your hood, and at the same time, kind of bring back a certain atmosphere. and a certain That's
So
dope.
I
That's dope.
just kind of like took the torch, you know what I'm saying, and just kept it going. Me and my homies and shit, TMF.
That's
And,
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So it's a
Then
family,
couple years
friends
ago.
affair.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. A couple years ago, my man's Widget, who was also doing his thing. He been doing his tournament for 7 years. Now I'm on year 9.
Okay.
And a couple years ago, a homie named Willie from the hood, he was just like, yo, y'all always doing a tournament a week apart, around the same time. Just y'all should just merge and do it together.
Was it
you know
also
what I'm
in
saying?
Burgundy?
In
or-
Bergs, yeah,
Okay.
same court. You know
Dope.
what I'm saying? But we was like, he a little bit older than me, so we have like 2 different crowds. You know what I'm saying? So when we merged together, we brought together both our crowds and people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it
unite
turned
the
into
people,
something.
unite the generations.
Yeah,
That's dope.
turn into something, you know what I'm saying, even more dope. And yeah, it's just now we got the whole hood working on it together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a part of it, and it's just become like something like really dope. You know what I'm saying? And for guys like Bone Collector, you know what I'm saying, to be coming to the hood, everybody's
it's big.
excited.
That's major.
You know what I'm saying? It's major. It's huge. Last year, you know, Hezzy God came by and he made it a movie.
That's dope.
People still talk about it to this day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, shout out Leaky Roof, Windu, MK, all these guys that come by and like show love to the hood. You know what I'm saying? It rings.
That's how it keeps it alive,
Yeah,
and
it
that's
keeps
what
it
makes it
alive. It
bigger.
stays. Like
That's
the
dope.
kids remember. You know what I'm saying? They love it. Everybody remembers, and it's just like that's what this stuff is about. You know what I'm saying? It's like creating good memories,
We-
good
we
vibes,
got-
inspiration.
We got a donation, so we read that donation. We
Uh-huh.
appreciate it from Checkmate Basketball. We're gonna get into that just now. Shout out Bowling for Burgundy. Shout out Bone Collector. Shout out Rapolitik, like TC always say. We the city. Blah 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 blah. Talking about Checkmate, we got a guest here. Tell us who you are. What is it all about, and what are the news that we got to share with the public? Also, that's important as far as the location and so on and so forth.
All right, so I'll do it like Franglish. Can I do like?
Yeah,
French?
of course. I mean, notre audience est
Yeah, c'est ça.
francophone. Tu peux le faire en français, c'est
Exactement.
confortable.
Ok, parfait.
Maybe I can translate certain things sometimes.
Ah, perfect. So c'est ça. En fait, c'est notre 3e édition cette
Ok.
année. Donc là, c'est ça. C'est une grosse organisation en fait. Shout out à mon partenaire Tico, Mike.
OK, shout out Tico.
For sure, shout out Tico. Donc cette année, c'est ça. C'est assez spécial.
Mhm.
3e édition.
Third edition.
Third edition, we receive Bone Collector as a special guest.
Amazing.
So shout out at Bound for Burgundy for bringing him. Donc c'est vraiment notre édition où est-ce qu'on veut vraiment prouver aux gens que Checkmate c'est pas seulement un mouvement de basket, c'est vraiment un mouvement qui va, for sure. C'est vraiment un mouvement qui va relier comme toute la ville ensemble, que ce soit
Ok.
dans l'ouest, sud, whatever, nord. Comme on veut vraiment créer un mouvement qui va réunir tous les Montréalais, même les gens qui sont à l'extérieur de Montréal. So people outside of Montreal, we want to connect with them. So c'est ça en
The
fait.
important words Bone saying that it's not just a movement, it's a uniting movement.
Exactly.
It's not just a basketball movement, it's a uniting movement. That's
C'est un
amazing.
mouvement,
I like what you
exactement.
said before about you said don't be scared of your own skin. Hey, shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's for
We
real.
had this literally.
we
Me,
had-
him, and Nate had
that
this
was-
That's
conversation.
important.
We have elements. Even I think even yourself.
Yeah.
This element of being afraid of, do Africans like Americans? Do Americans like Africans? All that nonsense has nothing to do with the mental health we all suffer from. So when we sit in this room and act like the outfits that we wear can put us in a comfortable position, that's not true for us. We need to discuss things. How do we build businesses? How do we create infrastructure?
Organizations,
How do
yeah.
we bring things full circle? I'm not out here to dribble a basketball. I do that every day. I'm out here to build a foundation. And me and Sade and these guys, we will have one of the biggest tournaments in Montreal
Amazing.
if we do our job the correct way. This is our first
real.
time around each other. I think that this is a good opportunity for to learn and go through these experiences together so we can see what it looks like 10 years from now. I think those things are something that is not really discussed in business because it's always a barter system. You pay me, I'll play. You do this, I'll play. You do.
Yeah.
For me, it is. They pay me to do a lot of things, but I want to make it to where
Community building as well.
Yeah.
I can have this thing, something that my kids can look at and say, man, I want to go to that Balling for Burgundy event. I heard you guys had, because right now my company, I can bring a full-size dinosaur out to the park.
What?
Yeah, and let the kids interact with it. It's a human that sits in it, but it
That's
looks
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, we saw a dinosaur at Balling for Burgundy. They don't even. Who,
Yo, that'd be crazy.
These are
You
the
do
thi-
that, you win.
Yeah, but these are not the things that I'm talking about. These are things I already do.
I love it.
This is what I want to bring to these environments, but we all understand that money makes everything rotate, and
True.
we're not ignorant to it, which makes us a lot more dangerous if we work together. So Sade, shout out to Sade. Sade, me and her talked about this for years now. We just cultivating, and as long as Nate's doing his job and I'm doing my job and she's doing the things she needs to do, and the people that we meet, like my guy here from Checkmate, and we met a guy at 777. Shout out 777 yesterday.
Yeah.
These Triple V, excuse me.
Triple V. Yeah.
Triple V, thank you. And yourself coming on the Rap Politics, talking about rap.
Shout out.
Then-
Welcome here.
Yeah, we are cultivating something that is bigger than what we can all see it as, and I think that this is an opportunity that me and Nate and Sade were looking for. So it's very important. That
Networking
like
is
you
the
said,
key.
Nate, our skin is not going to hold me back. Like I'm not going to hide the way I feel about the positive influence that we have on this area. So,
Sick.
and we do know racism exists. So that's not something we should be shying away from. If we are African Americans, or we are African, or we are related in some way, and why aren't we working together? Why are
100%.
Why are
Solidarity.
we trying to? Why am I trying to be bone collector around people that don't need me to do anything other than help them grow?
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a mentality. Like me, I'm a businessman. Like my background is in business. Why the name Omega, the numbers guy, and we're speaking a bit before, is because I work in finance, and I was a couple of weeks ago at a meeting with I'm a broker. I have my own cabinet. I'm the only black person that has a brokerage in North America.
Shout out.
And
hey, good, congratulations.
We have
brother.
meetings like à Place des Arts, sur la terrasse là, qui est au-dessus des choses.
Yeah, for sure.
All the brokers, we all ops. You know what I mean? We all competitors. And me, I think all the time, like in my field, in my particular finance field, the penetration rate of the market is about 10% in North America. In the rest of the world, it's 90%.
Damn.
So I tell those guys all the time, we ain't competitors, we ambassadors. Let's get the 50% market penetration, then we can kill each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, there is no point.
There's no
The whole
point.
market is open in front of all of us. You know what I
Yes,
mean? We all work with billion-dollar companies and $100 million company, and that mentality, you find it kind of like I don't want to stigmatize or but you find it in white communities. Business is business. We got to be able, as brothers and sisters, whether we're from the Caribbean, we're from Haitian background, African background, Afro-American background. It doesn't matter. Those people, you have to be able to sit down with your ops and build something.
Exactly.
You penetrate the market. You have people on your executive boards where it becomes routine to have a black man organizing an event in Montreal for the culture in historical neighborhoods. Then we can. I love the fact that Checkmate and Bowling for Burgundy are associating themselves.
Hell
This is
yeah.
how we build.
Hell yeah.
You could easily also make it a competition. I have my day, I have my tournament, you do your event, and we're going to talk about the event because there's a big basketball game coming up with in the rap industry. But I'm saying we need to develop this kind of mentality because that's how you succeed. Everybody sells oil. You think all those countries from the Middle East, when they sit down and they're not in the same meetings, you think the Saudis are not sitting down with the Qataris? They're not sitting down with those things?
So we tiptoe around race so much that we're afraid to say, like, even you have to be politely correct when you talk about white people or black people. This is about respect and product. Man.
Exactly.
We're not trying to force, I'm not trying to force my agenda on race on you, but I do know it exists, and I love black people. I love white people. I love all people. I got love for
100%.
everybody. It's not about what I don't like. This is about business and being able to show the respect to other cultures, other environments.
Yeah.
Montreal, Canada, Chicago, LA, Compton, go all the way from Moscow. That respect that you demand is what you have to show as well. And I think we have to do that in business. And I'm learning every day. This is why I said it's very important that you should actually be teaching kids how to jump into your field, because kids may want to do that but may not know how to get in that area. That would be something I would love to introduce to my program.
100%. I mean, we're
finance
definitely going
class
to
would
talk.
be
This
amazing.
is networking. This is what we're doing. This is how we get to those things. Having those conversations, being open-minded, saying this is my specialty. This is what I'm able to do. Like I said, like to go back. You're working with an artist like Drake. He's a mogul in what he does. You're a legend in what you do, but he has a need. He wants to get better at basketball. He built this great court in his villa and everything like that. But you have the skill to be able to take him to another level in something that he loves to do. He's a brand ambassador for the Raptors for many years and so on and so forth. So everybody's got something they can bring to each other, no matter what their status is or no matter what they've achieved. There is something that you can bring to me that I don't have. So I love this spirit. And how did this connection happen between Checkmate and
It was
Bolton?
organic, like,
Okay.
really, for real.
C'était quoi le hook-up?
C'était quoi le hook-up?
Ouais,
En fait,
comment c'est passé? Moi, je suis curieux. I'm a curious guy.
Actually, c'était vraiment, comme je dis, organic. C'est que l'année passée, nous, on a fait notre deuxième édition on Saturday. Next day, it was Bowling for Burgundy.
Okay.
So, en fait, Nate aussi avait participé à notre tournoi
Yeah,
l'année
the team.
passée.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to finals,
Rapolitik,
didn't he?
I played on their team. Yeah.
They won
Okay.
finals, but so la journée d'après, the Sunday, c'était Balling for Burgundy. So
Uh-huh.
on a pull up for sure.
Nice. Show
Puis-
love.
Exactement.
Show love back.
Exactement. La team
C'est-
était là, Rapolitik, Tyler était là, you know.
Mhm.
Et puis, franchement, on a juste, like, we felt, like, the movement. We felt
Okay.
the energy. Like, nous, c'est intérieur. Eux, c'est outside, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
C'est deux vibes différents, mais c'est deux bons vibes, tu vois.
But
Quand
it makes ça fait partie de l'écosystème
Ça fait
basket.
partie
You
de
know, when you
l'écosystème.
cover the
Yeah.
playground,
Yeah.
like we were saying, Bones, and he's covering the inside court. That's
Yeah.
magic right there. You,
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
you have it
Mhm.
cornered. That's
And
amazing.
one other thing that's important about this, I feel like, you know, back to some of those times, there was a time when, you know, you couldn't even imagine dudes from downtown or Little Burgundy and stuff doing anything with guys from the north side,
Without
east
no
side,
violence,
without no violence,
exactly,
no nothing.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
anything you would think of. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so that's why I also like kind of enjoy really like bridging the gap with y'all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And kind of just breaking that whole thing down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
we do low key gotta
I gotta mention Max Moupessé in the
Shout out-
chat.
shout
He's
out to
very
Max.
active, giving us many
Yeah.
shout outs.
Shout out Max, man.
La
Max.
force, merci beaucoup.
Yeah, yeah,
Really
yeah.
appreciate you guys. Likez le live, partagez le live. We have again Bone Collector in the house, Checkmate in the house, Nate Husser in the house. Big tournament coming up. Tell us about the dates a bit. What's gonna happen in the next couple of days? What is happening, when and where, so I can be there.
Actually, it's like less than 24 hours.
Okay, showtime.
Yeah, showtime.
Game time.
Unfortunately, something happened
Okay.
with the first location. So we had to move the whole tournament to another location.
Okay, where?
Lucien Pagé.
Lucien Pagé, École Lucien Pagé.
École Lucien Pagé. If you're from Montreal, you know Lucien Pagé for sure. Donc c'est là que ça va se passer le tournoi. Malheureusement, il s'est passé un événement qui est imprévu à Saint-Laurent. So on a été obligé de regarder. Il y a même la lettre officielle, disons, du directeur de Saint-Laurent.
Okay, dope.
Exactement. Donc, he just explained like why it's impossible to do the tournament. Like no one can enter the building for tomorrow and Sunday.
But it's still happening.
It's
Simply,
still
it's happening
happening.
at Lucien Pagé.
Exactly.
Same place, same time. So
Same place.
Okay.
Same energy, same everything.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I know Nate and Bone, you guys gonna have to leave pretty soon. I really appreciate that. I gotta go over. You got a big game tomorrow.
yeah.
The whole city's talking about it.
Yep.
We got Nate Husser, who's been playing professional ball in Russia against a big rapper, friend of the show as well, Kegel.
True.
So, what is going down? What's your mindset? What's going down tomorrow? Tell us more about that matchup.
BTA.
Oh,
BTA.
like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Like that.
It's not even, yeah, that's it, man. That's all I gotta say.
That's it. That we're gonna get it going. So
Tune
be
in,
there,
tap
be
in,
square.
yeah.
Just location. Kind of tell us which court.
Oscar Peterson Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Oscar Peterson Park in Little Burgundy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
legendary.
saying? You could Google it, Oscar Peterson Park.
Oscar Peterson Park
Yeah,
tomorrow.
if you're taking a train, just get out at a George Vanier Metro. You're gonna hear the noise and see the people. And yeah, we outside all day, 12 to 8. Pull up for the 1v1, me and K-Goon at 4:30.
Dope.
The All-Star game hosted by Septième Ciel
Let's
is
go.
at 5:30. And my bad, Checkmate is the presenting partner of the
Yep.
1v1.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
amazing.
They put up 2 bands for the winner. So
Let's
you know what I'm
go.
saying? Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man. I love
So
seeing
shout out.
Montreal coming together. A word of the end, Bones. Again, welcome to Montreal. Thank you
Thank you.
so much for your time. Thank you so
Appreciate
much
you,
for this
bro.
great conversation.
Thank you.
For Rapolitik. Rapolitik, you know how it is with the fucking city, people. And what you got to say to your audience, to your fans from Montreal?
Montreal, I love you guys out here. Stay on the lookout. Me and Nate and Sade, we're gonna work on doing a big situation for you guys, where you guys will be able to come and watch their athletes. These are my business partners, so we'll be doing a 3-on-3 tournament and a lot of basketball camps here in the near future.
Dope.
Every 4 months we will be here. So this is something that is mandatory for us. We're gonna do it. We're gonna put it in the right hands, you know, and always keep God first. Kids out there, if you got anything that you want to work on, ask God about it first. He'll get you to the right person to get you what you need. And then also, I like to tell these kids, you don't need to grow up and be somebody. You were born somebody. Put the work in, and it'll show later on. It'll last forever. I feel like Michael Jackson, so when I get on the court, everything is Michael Jackson. So
let's go.
And shout out to anybody who think they can beat me one-on-one. You better not call me out because I'm going to find you.
Let's go. Homies. You know where you heard it first.
Wow.
So Rapolitik, Bone Collector, amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome to our city. We're definitely going to be watching you guys hoop in the next couple of days. Thank you for this great event, Nate. Really appreciate it. Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure. We're going to be going around. I love those jerseys, man. You got to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk.
Yes, sir.
And Checkmate, always a pleasure. Friend
Appreciate
of the show.
you,
So Rapolitik,
Yep.
we out tomorrow, all weekend, basketball in Montreal. Let's get it.
Yeah, j'ai pas le choix de vous expliquer le time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ma façon d'être, ma façon d'agir, ma façon de parler. Yeah. Yeah. C'est le slang de Montréal, c'est comme ça qu'on parle. Ça varie en chaque secteur, c'est comme ça qu'on jase. Oui, je te donne mon lexique, c'est toi que je t'explique. Ne me dérange pas pendant l'exercice. C'est le slang de Montréal, c'est comme ça qu'on parle. Ça varie en chaque secteur, c'est comme ça qu'on jase. Oui, je te donne mon lexique, c'est toi que je t'explique. Ne me dérange pas pendant l'exercice. J'pars avant veut dire regarde ailleurs, tête chauffée, c'est bagarreur. Yo, j'check veut dire à tout à l'heure. Un gros spliff, ça bat, mon texte un rap. Un homme baisse un homme, yo, c'est un masque, on yes. Barbie veut dire les coches, une bouse, une pute. Si j'parle de bunda, c'est qu'elle a un cul. Stimulant, c'est du faire du bruit, c'est une crie. Yo, G, t'es en forme, veut dire du oui. Un crosseur, bouge pas teuse. Si j'dis que ça reste entre nous, donc c'est notre secret. Si tu as su, je score. Si tu quittes toujours du cop, yo t'es juste un graget. Du cop, c'est l'argent, un smack, ça va. C'est pas juste freestyle qui démontre tes talents. La caille, domicile, un car automobile. Le patinet s'est fait descendre, y'a eu un homicide. C'est le slang de Montréal, c'est comme ça qu'on parle. Ça varie en chaque secteur, c'est comme ça qu'on jase. Oui, je te donne mon lexique, c'est toi que je t'explique. Ne me dérange pas pendant l'exercice. C'est le slang de Montréal, c'est comme ça qu'on parle. Ça varie en chaque secteur, c'est comme ça qu'on jase. Oui, je te donne mon lexique, c'est toi que je t'explique. Ne me dérange pas pendant l'exercice. Vague veut dire laisse faire, une tête enflée, je reste fier. J'dois me limiter au slang, au cas qu'il y a des babys dans le vestiaire. Grattoir veut dire fais de l'air, ça se pointe qu'on c'est dégueulasse. Bogota, c'est une vieille machine. Ta job, ta gueule, cesse de gaspiller ta salive. Vu que j'aime chill, j'suis un chillet posé. Râler c'est fumer, un billet de sang c'est un brownie. C'est beaucoup plus qu'un meilleur ami. Booze peut être une dame sérieuse aussi. Tease à gaspissette, c'est rhum, c'est de la dèche. Qu'on part de la relève, c'est-à-dire only next. D-Block c'est Pierrefonds, what up, sac à fête. Live c'est en direct, J moi j'suis gone, c'est-à-dire j'suis sur une autre planète. Vu que j'te donne le time, tu connais un bout du slang clair et net. C'est le slang de Montréal, c'est comme ça qu'on parle. Ça varie en chaque secteur, c'est comme ça qu'on jase. Oui, je te donne mon lexique, c'est toi pendant que j'explique. Ne me dérange pas pendant l'exercice. C'est le slang de Montréal, yo, c'est comme ça